So before we get into the video, I want to try and help a small developer on his or her app. It's called Namoji. It's an anime game app. It's free in the Google Play Store. It's simply a little game that tests your knowledge if you know about your anime. So yeah, give us a go. Now, onto the actual video. What is up guys? Kohzzyjo back in the mix. Shit! I haven't made a video for about a month. I'm so sorry guys. School and personal matters starting to get piled up, and that kind of interrupted me in making up anything or mustering up any ideas. Well, things are starting to cool down at the moment, and my workload is starting to clear up. But until the last week of November or so, finals. Whatever. Let's get this thing going. Today, I'll be giving my first impression on what I'm watching this season, since we are reeling down to the halfway mark of fall. The order I talk about these series in do not matter. I'll eventually give them a ranking and a final verdict once they all reel towards their end. Alright, let's start things off with Dragon Ball Super. Yes, I know it's a summer series, but it's still airing this fall. You can somewhat call it a leftover summer series, but I'm pretty sure the series will keep going till next year. Just my speculation on how the story is progressing, and general information we are given about the series. I gotta admit, I'm a sucker for DBZ. Played all the games and watched the entire series about 3 times. So yeah, I'll try and be unbiased as possible. I grew up with it as a child, and Goku was always my childhood hero. DBZ was the coolest shit back in my days. Everyone knew it, and it was amazing. Sweet nostalgia. Now let's fast forward about 10 years. DBZ is back, baby! But it doesn't carry the same appeal as before. Back then, Dragon Ball was filled with non-stop action and suspense. Moments that literally makes you want to scream at the top of your lungs, or motivates you to break the limit and ascend. Plus, DBZ was meaningful and guided me throughout my childhood. Looking back and comparing it to Super, it's sad to say that Super does not live up to the original. Super deviates from the original by making the story more child-friendly and with the excessive implication of stale comedy. I kinda don't like the approach on the start of the series. It disregards the movie and makes them non-canon. If the series stayed loyal to the movie's storyboard, it would have been more acceptable. Alright, now I know all of you guys heard about the horrendous animation in episode 5, am I right? Well, just disregard it. Really, I see no point on bashing it for one particular reason. I know I might upset and make some theories that DB was deduced into something as of that level. Animating is tough and requires a lot of time, plus it runs on a really tight schedule. This type of mistake is in almost every anime, and not just Dragon Ball. I'm just surprised by how people are beginning to notice this common flaw and straight up hating it for this reason. It puzzles me too. Oh well, when watching this series, friendly reminder, this show is now pandering to young children. There will be tons of random comedy and hardly any intense moments, well, probably few, but it will not be as intense as the original. If you are a die-hard DBZ fan and love it for its characters and action, I cannot ensure you will enjoy Super. I will keep watching this till its finale, and at that time, I will give my final judgment on the series. So far, I'm enjoying it. Another series I'm watching this fall season is Toshi Asterisk. Well, it's not something I was expecting, but it seems like a series that does have something to offer from the way it started and carries potential. The progression of the series is pretty slow, but that's probably because the series will go up to 2 seasons. The story as of now seems a bit meh in my opinion. People are saying it's another generic battle harem. I don't see it reaching that point yet. Probably because there will be more characters appearing soon. I sure hope that the decision A1 is making is good. Other than the story, the animation is spectacular. The action sequence and the quality of the series is gorgeous. Music, all I hear is techno and dubstep stuff. Pretty good OST and well fitted to the series, since it takes place in a technological advanced universe. So, props to A1, and I hope they continue to keep it up. In short, the series production value is high. So far, the plot is still developing, so there is not much to say. Am I enjoying it? And you could say somewhat I am. There are just some few things that bothers me, and that's how the story is progressing and where it will lead. It also isn't that predictable, so that's a plus. Oh boy, Valkyrie drive Mermaid. I don't know how to explain this series at all. It's out of my avenue to be watching something as of this caliber. I gotta admit though, the story and concept is interesting, and that was the reason that caught my attention. funny to say that this series is getting 2 games, one for the mobile and PSP Vita. After watching to the latest episode, I would say it's pretty okay, but does consist of flaws. I would compare this to a series called Freezing. I love the Freezing series and followed the manga until today. The anime adaptation for Freezing though, it sucked ass. Freezing compared to this is kinda similar to a certain degree, such as the boobs, nipple slips, and skin exposures. However, Valkyrie Drive starts to branch off and stand as its own thing with the sexual arousal shit and exaggerated bust sizes. I don't take these type of shit seriously anyways. I don't get disgusted by it, and also I knew what I was getting myself into. In addition, it was advertised as a heavily fan service show. If you pick this series up expecting to be a normal ecchi, you are wrong, my friend. You knew what you're getting yourself into, so don't even complain. You have no reason to do so. Pretty much, you pick your own poison. In my books, this is categorized as somewhat almost crossing the boundaries to an actual hentai. Also, if you haven't heard, this series starts to become a controversial debate on whether it's a hentai or not. In addition, it has alarmed a lot of people. I find that hilarious. I'm just watching it the way it's meant to be watched. Coming from ARMS, if you did not know, they animate and produce hentai as a side thing other than anime. For this part of the video, I'm sorry for censoring some parts, because, you know, the purpose of doing so. Just kidding. Now safe for work, kids. Other than one huge negative aspect of the series, the animation for the series is surprisingly pretty good and solid. The animation sequence flowed really well and was pretty enjoyable to watch. I would also like to mention, the breast physics for this series is super exaggerated, and that's what makes it hilarious. Furthermore, it seems most of the money for this series is going into the animation and the exquisite breast. Don't think of me as a sick pervert for saying this or even watching this. It's just a fact that sticks out like a sore thumb. Whatever. Like I said, I simply ignore these type of stuff and try to focus on the true plot. You know, the story. The good thing about this is that it doesn't stand at the same pinnacle as Boku no Pico. So far, not bad, but at the same time, not that great. In the end, you decide whether you want to give the show a chance. I know a couple of people who dropped this for the excessive adult content. Rakudai no Kishi no Kaburi. Well, let's just say it's the same as Asterisk. In my opinion though, I find this better than Asterisk. That being said, it's another generic story about a sleeper protagonist. If you don't know what that means, it's a main character that might seem like a weakling, but has immense power and potential. The story so far isn't quite that great, nor bad. The plot is starting to reach its climax, which will set the course for the series. This show isn't like your typical harem stuff. Well, not quite yet, I mean. It will probably bloom into one. But as of now, nah. The protagonist, Ike Kurogane, hooks up with Stellar Vermilion at the end of episode 4. So far, the relationship between the couple is gradually progressing. They aren't hitting it off that quick, and that aspect is something I like about the series over Asterisk. Pretty much in short, both of them are pretty awkward when it comes to love. I really want to see their progress as a couple. The main character in the series is likable, and Ike Kurogane is a complete badass. The animation and art is pretty good. The colors are vivid and really appealing to the eye. The usage of colors are amazing. Simply to put it, beautiful. Props to Silverlink. Keep up the splendid work. Same as Asterisk, Rakudai does deliver with awesome fast-paced animated action sequence. Still, I think Asterisk might stand above this in the art department. In Rakudai, they add some kind of blur into the colors. More like a filter or work of Gaussian blurring. So, I find that pretty cool too. Story-wise though, Rakudai beats it in a landslide. Well, it beats as of now. I really enjoy the series and hope it gets even better. If you watch my top 10 for fall, I mentioned that this might be anime of the season in my book. Well, we just gotta see. Whoa, Punch Man! Let's begin saying that this is anime of the season, hands down. Most of the time, I was laughing my ass off as Saitama, the protagonist, does ridiculous feats. Like seriously, it's insanely stupid, but it's like a good type of stupidity. I know this doesn't make sense, just ignore what I just said. I also found the characters likable. Saitama's a dude and a freelancer that literally doesn't give a fuck and carries on his normal daily life while protecting his city against terrorists and threats. However, he becomes jaded after encountering numerous enemies. The problem he was concerned about is that no one was able to stand up against him or challenge him. He longed for a worthy opponent. One day, during an outbreak from an enemy attack, he runs into a cybernetic guy named Genos. Saitama demonstrated his skills and Genos was awed by his brute power. Stunned and almost interested in Saitama's power, Genos pled to become his pupil. From that day, the life of Saitama will be changed forever. The animation for the series is top notch too, the color and the compelling action. I also like how they kept the manga quality. That was a good step taken by the studio. I heard that most of the animation wasn't from high budgets, but from dedicated hardworking animators that also love the series. Madhouse hopes to bring great success to the series, and boy is that turning into a reality. Please give them a hug and a pat on the back for doing such a marvelous job. They truly deserve the praise. Alright now, the last series I'm watching this season is a Wino setter, Nagoya Kensen Hen. I remember picking up the first season and I was hooked to it. Wit IG predicted that this will be a successful anime, and they were right. I really enjoyed the series, and I remember reading about the premise of the show, and that really set me off. So basically, a virus was released upon the earth that killed everyone above the age of 13. And out of nowhere, vampires appears and makes mankind livestock. I know it sounds retarded, right? I was hesitant on whether to pick it up or not. In the end, I said fuck it, why not? Well, it proved me wrong. I began to grow onto the series. Subsequent to finishing the first season, I dove right into the manga, and that eventually led me to the light novels of the series. I gotta admit, this shit is way better than Shingeki no Kyojin. So far, the second season is going at a moderate pace, grabbing out the important scenes and only cutting out some miscellaneous things from the manga. I'm just worried that this might end up with an OE from what I've been hearing, which is an original ending. Hope it doesn't end up like a Kami ga Kill. God, that shit was horrendous. So far, I'm loving the second season of a Wino setter. Some might say it's a bit yaoi, shonen ai, and a fujoshi fandom, but really, I do not see it at all. I also know a couple of people who are avoiding the series because of this. Those are all just false and misleading information, guys. Come on. In the end, people who talk about the series in this matter are probably just too delusional, or they're just simply fucking around with you. Think of the relationship between the two protagonists as a brotherly type of love. Plus, I would like to add, if you read the Bible, the series kinda correlates to the Bible. The stories of Revelations, to be exact. Mika represents Michael, and Yu portrays as Lucifer, which is Satan. Plus, it's a battlefield between two races, humans and vampires. Ring any bell? You'd be the one to figure out what I just said. That's the only comparison I can give right now. There are still plenty more similarities, though. Keep that in mind. This is only a hypothesis devised by fans like myself. You can say it's a profound theory, but whatever. So don't take it too seriously. It's just how strikingly similar it is to Revelations. I'll probably make a video that goes deep into this in the future if I feel like it. It's kind of cool how the creator implemented religious shit into this too. Nonetheless, I see great potential for the series and hope to see it keep going strong. Well, that's all I'm watching this season. I might pick up a couple more, but we'll see. Not bad though. A pretty solid fall season this year. I can't wait till winter though, or the next following year. What a great time to be alive, don't you say? I will say this though, 2016 will be the year of anime. Just wait and see. A lot of good shit are going to pop up next year, I guarantee it. On the other hand, thank you for helping me reach 4,200 subscribers. Boy, I honestly did not think I can make it this far. You guys are my driving force to become better at this. I hope to bring more awesome content in the future. If you like my video, feel free to subscribe. If you want to talk about my picks or rant about something, leave in the comment section below. I will see you guys in the next video.